My fingertips hovered over the doorknob as I heard the most absurd joke of my life.
Eleanor's family is on the verge of bankruptcy. She has no choice but to marry me.
Sean leaned back on the sofa, his tone casual and unconcerned.
Didn't you promise to hold the ceremony at her grandma's house? Aren't you afraid she won't marry you?
His friend asked.
I've already arranged for the wedding planner to call her, right? Right now, she's probably busy changing her flight tickets.
I didn't expect him to say such things. Standing outside the door, my fingertips turned cold. 3 days later, the wedding at a Spanish castle took place as planned. I never rescheduled my flight, nor did I show up. In the old courtyard of my grandmother's house, I exchanged rings with another man.
He didn't know I said yes only because I loved him for 10 years. But after waking up from this dream, I have other choices now.
Shortly after leaving the Sean group, Sean sent the address of the Spanish castle and a photo. The photo showed the castle's facade. Milky white limestone walls, a golden dome, incredibly luxurious. But right in the center of the photo was Liana, with her wavy seaweed-like hair, dressed appropriately. My finger paused for 2 seconds over Liana's beaming face. I found it utterly absurd. I was the bride. This was the venue Sean had chosen for our wedding. Yet the main subject of the photo he sent was the childhood friend he always said was just a friend. Don't overthink it. After that, there was no further word from Sean. I knew him well. He thought the wedding planner had already informed me, so he was simply going with the flow by sending the address. He was afraid I wouldn't know where to change my flight to. There seemed to be a lump in my chest. I couldn't figure it out. He had already promised to hold the ceremony at my grandmother's. Why did he change it without hesitation? Just because Liana liked it? It was dark by the time I got home. I happened to hear Sean snapping at the nanny.
Eleanor is not a 3-year-old. Do you have to bother me just because she's late?
But Eleanor left right after the wedding planner called this morning. I was worried she might be so angry that she
went out to apply for a visa and change her flight. The family of Eleanor has so many people, it's not something she can finish quickly. Don't worry. Eleanor dreams of marrying me. She would die without me. Even if I set the venue in Antarctica, she would crawl there, let alone a Spanish castle that Liana carefully chose to.
The nanny didn't say anything more. Sean muttered to himself. Liana hasn't replied for 5 minutes. I need to go check on her. By the time he ran out, I had already left. That place was, after all, the Sean family villa, not my home. To make wedding preparations easier, Sean had suggested I move in. At first, we were like any other engaged couple, on intimate terms. But then one day, Liana returned from abroad after a breakup. He said he needed to comfort her. That comfort lasted 4 months. Whenever Liana said she was uncomfortable, he would drop everything and run to her without a second word. I was the one who had to decide on the wedding dress, design my grandmother's courtyard. He participated in nothing. Whenever I complained, he would look up from his chat with Liana, his face full of displeasure.
You're marrying me to save your family's business, aren't you? I've already agreed to marry you. Why are you still nitpicking?
Then Liana would call, and he'd immediately smile and walk away, leaving my words hanging in the air, fading without a trace. You were the one who proposed to me first. Obviously, it's because I love you that I said yes. In that moment, I went from a woman immersed in the joy of getting married to a bystander, alone in an empty room. Until now, even the choice of wedding venue had nothing to do with me. I slept at a friend's house that night. Sean never contacted me. The next day, after finishing my work handover, I walked in the door to the sound of Liana's laughter. Fresh flower petals drifting from both sides are a must during the oath-taking ceremony to make it romantic. Sean sat beside her. A pair of smiling eyes closely followed her. Whatever you say. When Liana saw me, she waved me over cheerfully.
Eleanor, come here. I have a brilliant idea for the wedding.
Where have you been? Liana has been working on the wedding for 4 months, and you've become the one who does nothing. But it's fine. Liana has much better taste than you. Unlike your countryside style, I would have been laughed at by everyone in our circle.
In that moment, that sense of being an outsider surged over me again.
I'm tired. I'm going to rest.
Ignoring Sean's furrowed brows, I went straight to the guest bedroom. As I closed the door, a message I had rejected many times popped up again. Just say the word. Even if it ruins me, I'll come crash that wedding. Outside the door, Liana was describing her dream castle wedding, complete with fresh flowers, interspersed with Sean's tireless whatever you say. I smiled bitterly and typed back, No need to crash it. My groom is you, Sean. If you were destined to go to the castle, and I was heading back south to my grandmother, then I'll let you go. And let myself go too. I tossed and turned all night. Every time I closed my eyes, I remembered the boundless love Sean and I had shared over the past 10 years. I was his one and only, the one he doted on. No matter who said I wasn't good enough for him, he would stand firmly by my side. So when my grandmother was alive, she held his hand and said she wanted to entrust me to him. He looked at her with burning sincerity and nodded solemnly.
Grandma, don't worry. I love Eleanor more than I love myself. I will never let her suffer. I promise you. We'll get married right here in your yard. You'll watch Eleanor walk down the aisle in person.
Those vows from back then seemed as solid as a rock, never to be worn away. But I forgot that water can erode stone, and time erases all solemn oaths. The day before the wedding, I saw a purple dress in the living room. Leonard greeted me enthusiastically.
Eleanor, Ingrid, I designed this wedding dress for you. Sean said you like the countryside, so I researched rural wedding materials. In my village, the bride wears a real wedding dress, not a bridesmaid costume. I'm sorry, Eleanor. My presumption made you uncomfortable. I just thought you would like it. I'll take it apart right now.
With that, she grabbed a pair of scissors and aimed them at the dress. Sean rushed out of the study and snatched them away.
How many times have I told you not to use scissors? What if you hurt yourself?
Liana's eyes glistened with tears. Her voice trembled.
Sean, did I do something wrong? Eleanor got so mad at me.
Liana spent 4 months preparing this wedding dress for you. How many nights did she stay up talking to the designer? And this is how you repay her? If it weren't for her, you wouldn't even have a wedding dress! Apologize!
Meeting his disgusted gaze, I found it even more ridiculous. When I had tried to discuss wedding dresses with him before, he had simply told me not to bother him while he took Liana on a trip to Bali to lift her spirits. Yes, Liana was that important. She said she was heartbroken over her breakup, so he spent entire nights talking with her. On my birthday, he rented out a cinema for Liana to watch a romance movie. When I had a high fever from working non-stop, he told me to drink more hot water, then turned around and drove Liana to a private hospital for a tiny scratch.
It's my wedding. I did everything I was supposed to do. But because Liana was involved, somehow she became the one who did everything for me. Sean's family thinks I did nothing. They all look down on me now.
Even now, my wedding dress and his suit were hanging in my guest bedroom closet. He hadn't even glanced at them.
He never even looked at them. Not once. And he wants me to apologize to her?
The more disappointed I became, Sean sneered.
Fine. Then no wedding. You apologize to Leon, then we'll talk about getting married.
Suddenly, I unclenched my fists and looked at him seriously.
All right.
With that, I went back to my room to pack. Lance had said the bougainvillea at my grandmother's was in bloom.
Lance said the bougainvillea is blooming at Grandma's house. I want to go back and see it soon. I planted it with Grandma before my parents took me to the city.
In the living room, Sean comforted Liana. Lansig irritated himself. He glanced towards the guest bedroom. Then, avoiding Liana, texted his assistant. He quickly got a reply. Mr. Sean. The tension on his face relaxed, and he replied, never mind. After I finished packing, a message from Sean arrived.
You're going to marry me, so you need to change your attitude. Liana did everything for you. How could you break her heart? Fine, there's a family lunch at noon. I'll take Liana there first and send the driver for you. Apologize to Liana, then this is over. We have a wedding tomorrow. Don't ruin everyone's mood.
I took one last look at my luggage. Fine. Sean had proposed to me in public. Now I would call off the wedding in public. That was only fitting. When I arrived at the Sean family mansion, Liana was the center of attention. She tottered over in high heels.
Eleanor! Over here!
I instinctively bit my lip. Just then, Sean came down the stairs. His eyes lit up with amazement when he saw her.
Liana, you look so beautiful.
Sean, stop it. Eleanor is right here. Eleanor, please don't be upset. I already feel so bad about causing you two to argue at Sean's place this morning.
Sean's gaze remained fixed on her, the sparkle in his eyes unmistakable. He didn't even look at me, as he reached up and removed an eyelash from her cheek. This scene made the onlookers burst into laughter and teasing.
You know what? Laya and our Sean are a much better match.
I looked down at my own cyan dress. I wasn't a great beauty, but in the past, Sean often used to call me beautiful and gently tuck my hair behind my ear. On the other side,
Uncle, Please don't say things like that in front of Eleanor. It'll make her unhappy.
Sean's parents scoffed. Sean finally deigned to look at me, but it was with displeasure again.
My parents watched Liana grow up. Can you not is Doomville a lot? I vote it's Creeple Drive Zykes night. Can you not be so petty? You get upset over comments like that? No wonder my mom says upbringing is everything. You grew up with your grandma, only came to the city when you were 18. You really have no manners at all.
My brows furrowed tightly. I couldn't believe he would say that.
Sean, you know exactly how good Grandma was to you. Aren't you afraid of breaking her heart by saying things like this?
Sean looked a little guilty, but with his family present, he turned grim.
Anyway, Liana and I grew up together as friends. Don't let your jealousy make Liana sad.
Again and again. It was all about avenging Liana. I suddenly felt very tired. The past weighed on me like a mountain, crushing my breath. After a long moment,
The reason I came today actually is... Sean! My best friend wants to come to Spain too. Are there still seats on the flight?
Yes, I'll arrange it. Boss, the last seats were reserved for Eleanor. Eleanor can take another flight. Liana's best friend doesn't know anyone there. She has to travel with us.
Sean, I knew you'd take care of me.
ridicule surrounded me, while Sean had eyes only for Leonor and couldn't hear a word I said. In the end, I was just a bystander, but out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Liana was wearing a gold necklace.
Where did you get this diamond?
Before my fingers could even touch Liana's neck, Sean shoved me away.
Eleanor, have you lost your mind?
Liana's face went pale with fright, and she hid behind Sean.
Eleanor, I know I've upset you, but today is the Shen family dinner. Let me apologize to you first. After this is over, you can hit me or scold me all you want, okay?
The people around gathered protectively around her, comforting her. Sean's face was dark.
Look at Liana's upbringing, then look at yourself. My parents praise Liana and you lose your mind? If I marry you, who knows what chaos you'll bring to the Shen family?
But I was already seething with anger.
I've lost my mind? She turned my grandma's diamond ring into a pendant and I can't even ask about it? Sean, you know better than anyone what that means to me. That was grandma's last keepsake for me in this world besides the old courtyard.
You're mistaken. That's not your grandma's diamond.
I can't be wrong! That's my grandma's! It was always kept with the gold bangle!
This is the Shen family dinner. Don't embarrass me. Just go back first.
I looked at him in disbelief. Tears fell, and he panicked.
So many times he put Liane before me and I didn't cry. But now...
Just as he reached out towards me, Liana suddenly burst into tears.
Eleanor, I thought it was beautiful. I begged Sean to give it to me. Please don't be angry with him.
Liana, I gave it to you willingly. Why are you blaming yourself?
He bent down to wipe her tears away, but I felt like I'd been struck by lightning.
Sean! How can you face Grandma after doing this? Why give Grandma's things to her? Well, what right does she have? I'm sorry, it's my fault. I would have said the gold necklace for you, and further Sean would have bells it to the make for me. Eleanor, hit me if you want. Just don't fight with Sean. You're getting married tomorrow. You can't. The gold bangle, my grandma's dowry for me, melted into her necklace.
I slapped Liana.
Give it back!
Sean flew into a rage and slapped me back.
You hit Liana over a cheap bangle and diamond? How could I marry a violent woman like you? Apologize to Liana, or the wedding is off!
I stumbled back a few steps.
In this moment, I finally regretted it. I shouldn't have loved Sean. I shouldn't have been so stubborn about marrying him. There were better choices all along. But because of my 10 years of love, I destroyed Grandma's dowry for me.
I took one last look at the necklace and diamond around Liana's neck, clenched my fists, and turned to leave. Sean watched my back for just a moment, then immediately lowered his head to gently comfort Liana again. When I came out, he froze.
Eleanor, your face.
Just drive. I don't want to spend another second here.
He frowned deeply, his eyes flashing with ruthlessness as they swept over the Sean mansion. Then he nodded and drove me to the airport. We landed in Hainan that evening. There were 3 messages from Sean, sent that afternoon. I really don't understand why you can never be understanding. What good does it do you to make me lose face in front of the Seans? On the afternoon of the wedding day, the weather in Spain was a bit muggy, but everyone was thrilled when they arrived at the castle, wandering around. Even Sean's parents were in a good mood, taking lots of photos with Liana. Only Sean frowned at the empty chat interface on his phone. The castle address and the selfie of Leonor in front of it that he'd sent a few days ago. No reply. The message from yesterday morning tell Lanseg me to apologize to Liana, saying he was taking her to the family lunch first. No reply. Even the 3 messages from last night saying Liana had forgiven me. Still no reply. The more he looked, the more agitated he became. He scrolled up and was shocked to see that all the past messages had been sent by me. Which of these 3 wedding dresses do you like best? There are so many kinds of wedding candy. My head is spinning trying to choose. When are you coming home to help me pick? Sean, are you still not coming home tonight? You haven't been home for so long. My parents have already settled in next to grandmother's place. They ask me what kind of dried fruit you like. They're drying some to save for you. But no matter which message, he hadn't replied. Scroll and seg up further. His last reply was actually 4 months ago. Is Liana okay? Should I go talk to her? Maybe we girls can relate better. He had been busy personally making a 3-tier cake to celebrate Liana's return then. He replied a week later. Liana is different from you. She wouldn't have anything to say to you. His heart skipped a beat.
Where are they different?
In a daze.
How could they not relate?
Different how? Why wouldn't they have anything to say? His heartbeat quickened. He read through my one-sided messages over and over.
When did I become like this?
Sean, come take some photos of me.
Liana suddenly ran out. Under the gloomy weather, her brilliant smile made him feel almost dizzy.
Let me take a picture of you two. A handsome man and a beautiful woman. You look perfect together.
What a perfect couple. He frowned, wanting to contradict her. But for Liana's sake, he held back and let her best friend take pictures of them together. By the time his assistant had arranged accommodation for everyone, they had already taken over 100 photos.
Boss, everyone's luggage has been placed in their rooms except Miss Chin's room is still empty.
This sentence turned Sean's guilt towards me into resentment.
What time is her flight? It's already 4 o'clock. The ceremony starts at 7. Does she expect all of us to wait for her? Boss, I don't have the authority to check Miss Chin's specific flight information.
Sean then remembered that only top-level executives in the company could access that. Now there were only 3 hours left. If I was late, it wouldn't just be losing face for him in front of the Sean family.
It's good if she doesn't come. You men who haven't registered, I've always thought you and Liana are a better match. Why not let Liana stand in for Ellen? If Ellen shows up, she'll be late. Buckway, it's her own fault for late. Shake and blame.
Liana blushed and peeked at him.
No, my wife can only be Eleanor. I said that when I proposed. Let me call and ask. We took my chartered direct flight. She's on a regular flight with connections. It's normal for her to be late.
Of course. This is Eleanor and Sean's wedding. How could I?
Check Miss Chin's flight for me. ID number. Tell me her arrival time and airport.
Boss, Miss Chin didn't change her destination. She changed her departure time. Her original flight was last night. She rescheduled to this afternoon. She landed in Hainan at 8 p.m. last night.
Sean's eyes widened in shock. Before he could explode, his assistant rushed over.
Boss! The finance department just reported. Miss Chin transferred a sum of money back. The note says, return of night bedagement to Nankled.
The last time I went back to my grandmother's was 6 months ago. Back then, I had just accepted Sean's proposal. Sean had clasped his hands together and chattered endlessly to my grandmother. Grandma, we'll come back here in 6 months and let you watch Eleanor get married. And it was only 2 months after he said those words that Liana returned. He gradually forgot his promise to my grandmother.
Grandma, I promise you, Eleanor will wear the dowry you gave her. She will marry me with joy.
Yet in the end, that dowry became Liana's necklace and pendant, and he himself became the one who didn't come home. My cousin's little child ran over and handed me a sprig of plum blossom.
Auntie, Uncle Lance told me to give this to you.
I took it and saw a small note attached. Eleanor, I know you're right now in your grandmother's house, about to become my bride, but still, it feels unreal to me, as if this is all a dream. That if I wake up, I'll still be Lance. I recalled, many years ago, Sean and I, running together at university. His eyes were full of me.
Sean, can you watch where you're going?
He'd grin, grab my fingers, and kiss them lightly. Watching you is enough. How can I think about the path? Back then, we believed love could conquer all. Who often appeared by my side as Sean's roommate, would become my groom. At noon, the courtyard at my grandmother's was full of blooming plum blossoms. Grandmother's Smilanseg portrait hung on the wall, looking at me kindly. Blessings were said 1,000 times, and I heard them 1,000 times. During the vows, he swallowed hard several times to stop himself from tremblanseg. Then he knelt on one knee and held up a diamond ring almost identical to the one my grandmother had given me.
Eleanor, I don't want to skip the proposal and just marry you, but I promise you, for the rest of my life, I will love only you.
He said very sincerely.
Just like I have for the past 10 years. So please, I beg you, will you marry me?
Tears glistened in his eyes. In them, I could see my own reflection. In that instant, my 10 years of love for Sean vanished like a snap of the fingers. To forget my previous fiancés and immediately fall in love with a new man, that would be hard. But I firmly believed that the choice I was making now was the right future.
I do.
As soon as I spoke, my groom's eyes turned red with tears. My I do meant everything to one man, and the same 2 words meant nothing to another. Back in Spain, Sean's face was terrible. His parents tried several times to comfort him, but were scared off by the terrifying aura around him. Liana twisted her fingers, staring intently at him. She bit her lip and stepped forward.
Sean, don't worry. I haven't known Eleanor for long, but I don't think she's unreasonable. She's probably just angry. Just wait. There's still an hour.
Before, whatever she said, he would drop everything to respond. But this time, he just stared at his phone, as if he couldn't hear her at all, repeating the same action. Lanseg every mutual friend he could find. After another 10 minutes, still no one could reach me. On WeChat, the red exclamation mark made him clench his fists. He turned his head and roared.
When can we take off? I need to go to Hainan right now.
The assistant ran back, but when he saw Liana, he got a headache. Mr. Sean.
Speak!
Or get out of Sean. Liana gave him a warning look, but after a moment's thought, he braced himself and said, the company says Miss Liana requested that the 2 planes return to China first and come back in 3 days to pick them up, and the planes are currently in an air traffic control zone. Not permitted to turn back. Sean whipped his head around to look at Liana, just in time to catch her warning glare at the assistant. Liana panicked.
No. Sean, listen to me.
I thought there was no accommodation for the pilots here. Didn't you say all the rooms were full? So I just...
What gives you the right to give orders to my employee?
Flustered, Liana pointed at the assistant. The assistant immediately retorted. Sean's eyelid twitched. The air pressure around him dropped even lower.
When did you become my wife?
Before Liana could speak, his gaze dropped to the necklace, and he suddenly remembered the promise he made to my grandmother on her deathbed.
She didn't change her flight. She called off the wedding. Because I broke my promise.
Of course, I wouldn't marry him anymore. In a flash, Sean reached out and yanked the necklace from Liana's neck. Liana screamed in pain, but Sean was oblivious. As if possessed, he faced her pale, tear-streaked face and murmured coldly, speaking to Liana, or perhaps to himself.
All these years, I tolerated your lies because we grew up together.
Thinking you had no choice. You said your foreign boyfriend cheated on you, so you came back heartbroken. But I checked. You were the one who cheated. You ran back because you were afraid he'd find out.
And this necklace? You stole Eleanor's gold bracelet and had it made into this. I convinced myself that I gave it to you.
But I romanticized it in my head into me giving it to you. Liana, these past 4 months feel like a dream. Now that I've woken up, I realize how terribly wrong I've been. Just because she didn't change her flight. Just because she decided not to marry me. I'm in this much pain. All these 4 months, how many times did I leave her for you? How sad must she have been? Slowly, he reached out a hand and grabbed her collar. This red dress, it's the reception.
Who gave you the right to wear it? Take it off!
Liana looked terrified. The dress wasn't taken off, because someone in the crowd saw a news alert. The assistant saw it too and quickly handed him the phone. It was a congratulatory announcement. Lance Group Joy. Lance Group President Lance, after years of devoted love, has finally gotten his wish. Sean's legs gave way, and he fell straight backward, waking from a nightmare, waking from a sweet dream, or waking from a self-hypnotized illusion. It all happens in an instant. 2 days after the wedding, when Lance and I woke up in bed, that's the thought that crossed my mind. This was the room I stayed in at my grandmother's when I was little. I used to think this bed was huge, until my grandmother would bring over breakfast with a smile and call me to get up. That's when I realized the bed was actually quite small. So I had grown up. I was married. I had a husband. Soon, perhaps, a child. But one thing remained unchanged. This place would always be the home my grandmother left for me. Thirsty, Lance unscrewed the thermos by the bed and handed it to me with a shamelessly smug smile. That's when I realized why he insisted on leaving a glass of water by the bed every night. After downing the whole glass.
Why didn't you tell Sean that your family business came back from the dead, that it won't go bankrupt? If you had told him earlier, he might have realized you weren't marrying him for your family.
I did tell him. But that day Liana was drunk. He was in a hurry to take care of her.
After saying that, I watched Lance's expression. I was talking about another man in front of him. I didn't know if he would be angry or displeased.
I feel for you, Eleanor. I'll make him pay.
I heard you on the phone last night. You're going after the Shen family's business.
Do you think I've gone too far?
I'm your wife. And right now, I only think you've done well.
Come back to bed.
Auntie, there's a man here to see you.
Who can it be?
A man?
Forcibly turning the plane back to landing in Hainan, Sean received countless messages. First, the Sean family business was taken over by the Lance Group. Then, Sean family shareholders sold their shares to Lance one by one. Sean Aviation had been running for decades, the pride of the Sean family. But in the tens of hours he had been in the air, the Sean family had been turned upside down. The first thing he did upon landing was receive a call from the board of directors. Now, Lance was the largest shareholder of the Sean Group. All the Sean family directors, including him, had been kicked out.
Would you mind resting and gone?
I see.
Lance is the largest shareholder. All the Shen family directors, including me, kicked out.
Yet even so, when he saw me, he didn't ask about it.
Eleanor, your dowry from Grandma. I got it back for you.
I didn't reach for it. Lance took it instead. He stared at Lance.
I trusted you like a brother. He's still that main. He need you banded you like a brother. But you've had your eye on my woman since college.
If it weren't for Eleanor, I wouldn't have deigned to be brothers with someone like you.
He's had bad intentions towards you all along. How could you marry him?
Listen to me. I left Liana in Spain. She'll never come back to the country for the rest of her life.
I got revenge for you.
Eleanor, it's not too late. Divorce him and I'll marry you.
Have you forgotten? We made a vow in front of Grandma.
His shamelessness made me laugh coldly.
Weren't you the one who forgot the vow first? So, you're a set I want. You forgot that anyone vowed first. Sean, you say you took revenge for me, that you got back my dowdrum. But the one who made me sad again and again, the one who gave her the dowdrum, wasn't you yourself? By the way, I think I should tell you. My family's business has already recovered. The reason I agreed to pay you back was because I loved you. It had nothing to do with the Chin family. But you wasted my love.
Eleanor, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't know.
Husband, I'm so sleepy. I didn't sleep well last night. Let's go take a nap.
Sure, wife. But still, thank you. Ever since I found out you proposed, I've been texting Eleanor almost every day, trying to make her think clearly. At first she ignored me completely, but thanks to you being so focused on Leah, I got my chance. My wish came true.
I didn't look back to see Sean's expression. In my mind, I was thinking that I couldn't let him have his way again tonight. I only had 5 days of wedding leave. I had a lot of work piling up, and Lance insisted on giving me the Sean Group shares he had acquired. I'd have to think carefully about whether to fire all the Sean family members after taking over, or keep a few useful ones.
Sean?
Gone. Look, Liana was left alone in that Spanish castle. Sean took her phone before he left. He told the castle manager to settle the bill with her. She couldn't pay. After the plane took off, she lost contact. The Land family is searching for her everywhere. They're also suing the Shen family. But the Shen family is already bankrupt. Forget compensation. Sean has fallen apart. All day he looks like a madman with a scrubby...
Those two, one loved Spanish castles, so she was destined to stay there for life. The other was convinced I would die without him. But when I actually left him, he ended up the one full Landseg apart. Satisfying? If not, I'll turn up the heat. Lance was eager, pouring me water as he spoke. My whole body ached. I gritted my teeth and smacked him on the chest. Why didn't you confess to me sooner? Why did you only get desperate when he proposed? I'm sorry. I regret it every single moment. He raised his hand. I swear, with grandmother as my witness, if I could do it over, I would have pursued you desperately in college.
I looked around the room I'd lived in for 18 years. Next door is the place Grandma lived her whole life. So many photos of Grandma, filled with her presence. It's as if she never left me. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you for blessing me, for helping me rein in at the verge before falling into the abyss, for finding the best choice. Now, you can rest in peace.